Hey gang, and welcome back. These videos are brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your unused collection fast and easily. 401 Games, Canada's top shop for all your hobby and TCG needs. Dragon Shield, the strongest sleeves for your strongest decks. Moxfield, the easiest way to store and share your deck lists. And Foil Armor, flatten your foils fast. Desmond wins the die roll and starts us off. He draws, playing a Sunken Hollow, and then casts Chrome Mox, imprinting Aetherize onto it. He passes after that. Shane just plays a Forest and ships it. Eric plays a tapped Devendo and passes. Etienne plays a Sacred Peaks and ships it after that. Desmond's turn has him playing a Drowned Catacombs and then casting Talisman of Progress. Shane plays a Waterlogged Grove and pays 2 for a Growth Spiral, drawing a card. He then gets to put a Forest into play off of it as well, and passes. Eric draws and plays a Eumidian Hatchery, and then pays 2 for a Scavenging Ooze, taking 1 from the Hatchery. Etienne's got a Memorial Henge, and he casts a Talisman of Conviction. He then plays a Skull Clamp, and passes to Desmond. Desmond just draws, and plays Y'shtola, the best cat girl, and passes. Shane just plays an Arcane Signet after missing a land drop. Eric's got a Tainted Peak, and then casts a Scoot Swarm. He then taps all of his creatures to station a Vendo up to 3 counters, and passes. Etienne draws, playing a Plains and casting Glimpse the Impossible. He doesn't cast any of them, and puts them to the graveyard, and then makes 3 Eldrazi spawn tokens. Desmond's turn has him drawing, and taking 2 as he plays an untapped Godless Shrine. He then casts Jin-Gitaxias, and after the Praetor resolves, hits Shane for 2 with his commander, and passes. Shane draws, plays a Garruk's Uprising, and then has to pass. Eric's turn has him playing a tapped Dakmor Salvage, and he gets an Insect token off the Scoot Swarm trigger. He then taps all of his creatures to station up a Vendo even further, and passes. Etienne's got a Mountain for turn, and is able to cast a Spawnbed Protector. Moving to his end step, he then returns the Endbringer to his hand, and makes 2 Scion tokens from the Protector trigger. Desmond's turn has him casting As Foretold, draining everyone for 2 with Y'shtola, and drawing a card off of Jin-Gitaxias. He then pays 4 life to cast Snuff Out, and targets the Scoot Swarm. Eric responds to this with an Infernal Grasp on Y'shtola, but Desmond still gets the Y'shtola trigger to drain everyone, and draws a card off Jin-Gitaxias. Both creatures are then taken out, and Desmond then passes turn, with Eric activating the Scavenging Ooze to exile Etienne's Anti-Causal Visage, and Desmond draws from Y'shtola's trigger during the end step. Shane draws and continues to miss a land drop, playing Harmonize. He draws one at least with a Flooded Grove, and has to pass after that. Eric's got a Forest, and stations a Vendo again. He then casts God Eternal Bontu, and sacrifices his Hatchery, Dakmor Salvage, and an Insect token to draw 3, and makes 4 Insect tokens off the Hatchery hitting the graveyard. Eric then replaces one of the draws by dredging the Salvage back to his hand, and draws 2 cards. He then stations a Vendo to full with 1 bug to get it active, and passes after that. Etienne's got a Castle Ardenvale for turn, and enough mana to cast Sami. He then sacrifices a Spawn token to clamp a Scion token, drawing 2. He then plays an Abstruse Archaic, and passes. Desmond adds a counter to his As Foretold on his upkeep, draws for turn, and then casts Windfall. This has Eric once more dredging the Dakmor Salvage, and everyone draws 6. Desmond then plays Scalding Tarn, and cracks it, losing 1 for an untapped Watery Grave, losing 2 more. He then casts a Talisman of Hierarchy, and he follows that up with the Taru Taru, and picks Shane, who draws a card. This has Desmond making a treasure off of Taru, and he passes to Shane after that. Shane draws and plays a Hinterland Harbor, and then finally casts his commander with Gandalf. As Gandalf comes in, he draws a card off Garruk's Uprising, and then passes to Eric. Eric draws and makes 6 green by tapping a Vendo, and uses it to cast Rampaging Baloth. He then plays out an Overgrown Tomb, untapped, and takes 2, and makes a beast token from the landfall trigger. He follows that up with Zuran Orb. Eric then continues his turn with an Arcane Signet, and moves to combat. He swings Bontu at Desmond, who takes the hit. Etienne's got a Plains for turn and casts his own Arcane Signet. He's then able to cast a reduced costing Emrakul the World Anew, and copies the cast trigger, targeting Eric and Shane. Eric uses a Scavenging Ooze twice to exile 2 creatures, and the abilities then resolve. Going to combat, Etienne then sends the Spawnbed Protector at Desmond, and Sami goes at Eric. They both take their hits, and Etienne then passes turn. Desmond takes up As Foretold to 2, and draws for turn. He recasts Y'shtola, and then plays out Shadow Spear for free off of As Foretold, and equips it onto Y'shtola. After that, Desmond passes. Shane draws, and plays a Willow Rush Verge, passing after that. Eric's turn has a Bloodstained Mire coming in, and he sacrifices it, losing 1 for a Swamp. He then casts the Hearthhull, and follows up by casting Farseek, going to find a tapped Sheltered Thicket. He passes after that. Etienne's turn has him playing a Mycosynth Wellspring, going to find a basic mountain. He then plays the mountain and gets the landfall trigger from the stolen Rampaging Baloth to make a 4/4 beast token. He follows that up by casting one of my favorite red draw spells, Tavern Brawler. Let me know what your favorite red draw spell is down in the comments below. Etienne then follows up with Path to Exile, targeting Y'shtola, and once she's exiled, casts Kozilek's Command and targets Jin-Gitaxias to exile it, plus makes some Scion tokens. This has Gandalf triggering, and draws everyone a card. Etienne then goes to combat and swings at Desmond and Shane to take them both out. After knocking out 2 players, Etienne then clamps an insect token, and copies the clamp trigger with the Obtruse Archaic to draw 4. He then plays out a Soul Ring, and then a Mystic Forge for free thanks to Sami's ability. He passes to Eric after that. Eric draws and plays a 0-point Ballad, putting 6 mana and 6 life into it to take everything out except for Emrakul and the Spawnbed Protector. Eric does get to bring back the Rampaging Baloth, and his land for turn is then a tapped Bojuka Bog, exiling Etienne's graveyard, and makes a beast token from the Rampaging Baloth. After that, Eric passes. Etienne draws, and activates Mystic Forge to exile his top card and lose 1. He then plays an Esper Sentinel, and clamps it to draw 2. He then continues by casting Swords to Plowshares, and exiles Rampaging Baloth, giving Eric some life. He then takes that life back by sending Emrakul and the Protector at Eric's face. Eric does block the Protector, but takes the rest. Etienne then casts a Rapacious one in his second main phase, and going to his end step, makes 2 more Scion tokens from the Spawnbed Protector trigger. Eric draws, and casts a Tireless Tracker. He then plays the Dredged Back Dakmor Salvage from hand, making a clue token as it comes in, and passing. Etienne looks at his top card, and activates Mystic Forge on his upkeep, exiling the top card and losing 1, and then draws for turn. He casts Kozilek the Broken Reality, which has Eric responding with a Tear Asunder, and targets the Rapacious one. Etienne then manifests 2 cards from hand, and swings out at Eric. Before blockers, Etienne casts a Kozilek's Return to take out the Tireless Tracker, and with the buffs from Kozilek, Etienne is then easily able to take out Eric, regardless of the Zuran Orb being out, and win the game. Game review time. Right off the bat, the best card this game was probably Emrakul. Effectively stealing all of Etienne's opponent's creatures, this was super sweet to see, especially when you double the on-cast trigger. Other than that, Hearthhull unfortunately kind of struggled despite it being a landfall deck. Gandalf certainly didn't do very much, and Y'shtola was an okay control deck, but Desmond was missing a lot of that free interaction that Y'shtola really relies on to get going. I will say that Sami is a pretty deceptive commander, especially depending on how you build it. It can just sit there and do nothing, or all of a sudden you're dropping Eldrazi's for nothing. I love it. This video wouldn't be possible without the help from my sponsors, but it definitely wouldn't be possible without the help from you, the viewers, and my patrons. So I just want to say thank you for watching, and to remember, friends are just opponents you haven't eliminated yet.